fourth grade. Welcome to lesson 5. We're on Overbridge and Under Tunnel on page 19 by Lloyd Frank. All right, this talks about bridges and tunnels. People came across a mountain and they're like, I'm not a goat. I'm not going to climb this. I'm going to build a tunnel through it. And they were like, oh, I don't have a boat. I'm not going to go over this lake. I'm going to build a bridge over it. Cool. Then they talk about the Golden Gate Bridge, famous. Everyone's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Let's take a picture. And then the famous tunnel, the Channel Tunnel that connects France and England. Pretty cool. But people aren't really taking pictures of it because it's hard to do that with a tunnel. Cool. So now we can quickly go to page 20. We have a lot today, so we're moving fast. All right. What is the meaning of obstacles as used in paragraph 1 of the text? Okay, so we go to paragraph 1. There are structures that help people pass such obstacles. What's an obstacle? Maybe you know, but let's just see if there's clues in here. Okay, so it says mountain lakes and rivers can get in the way of people traveling from one place to another. So get in the way is an obstacle. Okay, mountain lakes and rivers get in the way, so they're obstacles. All right, so let's see if there's anything like that. A, things made below or above ground. Do things made below or above ground, are they obstacles? Let's keep going. Things that slow or stop movement. Do obstacles slow or stop movement? Do you ever do an obstacle course and there's a ladder? You can't just, run through it. You have to climb up and climb down. Maybe it doesn't stop you, but it slows you. I like that. Well, let's make sure. Things that help people travel. Do obstacles help you travel? No, they get in the way, right? Things built through mountains or over water. That's talking about tunnels and bridges. Those aren't obstacles. Those are what help us get around obstacles. So what is it? Things that slow or stop movement. Obstacles. Yes, mountains slow or stop our movement. So mark that down. Number 2, underline 4 context clues in paragraph 2 that best help you understand the meaning of the word renowned. Renowned. All right. So what in here helps us understand what renowned means? Let's read. A bridge is built over a body of water, a highway, or a railroad track. Okay. Bridges vary in shape and are often placed above ground or water. Okay, some are even famous. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most renowned bridges in the world. So what word in the sentence before it helps us understand that? Okay, some are even famous. What word in here helps us understand what renowned means? Well, let's try famous. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most famous bridges in the world. Does that make sense? Yes. So underline 4 context clues, underline famous. Pause it, do that. Great. This celebrated structure crosses over the entrance to the San Francisco Bay and connects San Francisco to North California. What in there gives us a clue of what renowned means? Let's try celebrated. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most celebrated bridges in the world. Does that make sense? Yes. Underline celebrated. The Golden Gate Bridge is known for its length and height, but it is best known for its beauty. So if it is celebrated, if it is famous, do people know about it? Yeah, and probably a lot of people. So this is actually, so what's our clue in the Golden Gate Bridge is known for its length and height? Known. Known is our clue. It's known. So if it's famous, people know how long it is or how high it is. What else might they know about it? It's best known for its beauty. Oh, known. There it is again. They know how beautiful it is. So make sure you got those 4 underlined. Okay, we can move on to page 21, the charts. So it doesn't tell us what word we're supposed to do. We skipped a clue. Discuss the meaning of the word subterranean as it is used in this sentence from paragraph 3. It's hard to get a good view of a subterranean passage. What does subterranean mean? So I want you to write subterranean here so we remember what word we're working on. Okay, pause this, write subterranean. How do I spell it? It's in the text. Write it down. Okay, got that? Let's keep going. Helpful context. So where do we find context? In the text. So what is a good context that helps us understand what subterranean is? Well, what's this story even about? This text even about? It's about bridges and tunnels. So which one was this group talking about? Subterranean is in this paragraph. What is this talking about? Tunnels or bridges? Talking about tunnels. So that's our context. Put under tunnel, okay, from the title. Under tunnel. Our next context, I mean, there could be different ones, but let's try what sentence it came in. It's hard to get a good view of a subterranean passage. So what's our clue? What's our context? It's hard to get a good view of it, right? So put that in our context. It's hard to get a good view of it. Put that here, pause this, write that down. It's hard to get a good view of it. That's our context. That's what was in the text regarding that word subterranean. All right, got that? Let's keep going. Clues. What are our clues? Well, our text tells us tunnel, so write tunnel. So subterranean has something to do with tunnel. And then it said hard to get a good view. So let's go back up to the text and see if we can find some more clues that has to do with having, why would it be hard to view? So let's try to figure out that clue. So subterranean, okay. But since the channel is 200 million people, the channel, okay. The channel tunnel or channel runs beneath the English Channel. What there gives us a clue as why it's hard to see. The channel runs beneath the English Channel. Beneath. If something's under something, it's hard to see. So that's a clue, okay? Put beneath in your clues. Okay, runs beneath. She was beneath the table, so it was hard to get a good view of her. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, what is our meaning? So we have beneath, we have tunnel. What is subterranean? Well, let's try some of these words in the sentence and see what makes sense. It's hard to get a good view of a tunnel passage. That doesn't work because passage actually refers to the tunnel. So it would be like saying tunnel. Anyways, what other word did we use? Beneath. Okay. It's hard to get a good view of a beneath passage. What word is like beneath that we can put there instead? A good view of a under passage. So I know what parts of these words mean. That helps me understand what this word means. Subterranean. Do you see the word sub? What word do you know that has sub in it? Submarine. Submarines go underwater. Sub means under, marine means water. Sub means under. What does terrain mean? Terrain is land. So subterranean is under terranean. Subterranean, under land. So it's hard to get a good view of a underland passage. What phrase do we use instead of underland? We say underground. So subterranean, I hope you followed all that, means underground. Sub means under, terranean means ground. Subterranean, underground. Okay, now we have all of our stuff in our chart. We need to put it in our short response. Okay, this is the part you guys love the most. Wink, wink. Okay. Write a definition of the word subterranean. Identify the context clues you found. So I would underline certain things so you can remember. So it's asking for a definition, underline. It's identify context clues, underline. Describe the strategy you use to figure out the meaning of the word. What's a strategy? Describe the strategy you use to figure out the meaning. How did we figure out the meaning? That's a strategy. How did we figure it out? Use details from the text. So details from the text, underline that. Okay, so those are all the things we need. We need a definition, a context clue, a strategy, and details from the text, okay? Hope those are all underlined. Okay, so let's start with a definition. Write a definition of the word subterranean. So how will we rephrase that to start our short response? A definition of the word subterranean. Subterranean means, great rephrase. Subterranean means, so pause this, write that down. Spell it correctly. Give me a capital. Beginning of a sentence, right? So what did we say subterranean means in our possible meaning? We put underground. So that's all we have to put for our short response. Subterranean means underground, period. Then we start a new sentence. What else do we need? Pause this, write that down. Cool. Identify the context clues you found. Okay, so what were our clues? Go back up to your chart. Okay, our clues were the passage is talking about, the paragraph is talking about tunnels, right? Because the paragraph we found the word subterranean in is paragraph 3. So that's one context clue we can put. Paragraph 3 is talking about tunnels, period. Do you see, what is that in response? What do we call it? Race. In a race response. What did we just do? Restate, answer. We just cited. We said where we found the information. Paragraph 3 talks about tunnels. Okay, so pause that. Pause this, write that down. Okay, so we have a context. What other context clue did we write down? I have them written down over here, by the way. That's how I remember. Another context clue. The sentence says, the sentence we found, so we talked about the paragraph it was in. Now we talk about the sentence it was in. It's hard to get a good view of a subterranean passage. So we would say, the sentence said it's hard to get a good view of it. So you would write that too. The sentence it was in said it's hard to get a good view of it. I'll say that again so you have to keep rewinding. The sentence subterranean was in said it's hard to get a good view of it. period. Give me a capital at the beginning of that sentence. If you need to spell things right, you know, view, V-I-E-W, subterranean. Pause this, write that down. All right, so we should have our contexts, okay? We did the definition, we did the context clues. What's next? The strategy. How did we figure this out? What did we do to figure out the meaning? What did we keep doing every time we needed to find a clue? We looked back at the passage. So that's one of our strategies we used. So you would say, describe the strategy you used. You would say, the strategy I used was looking back at the passage. Period. Okay? Capitalize at the beginning of the sentence. The strategy I used was looking back at the passage. Period. Pause this, write that down. We're doing it. What's another strategy we used? Miss Lear always likes to fill in the word. So I go to the sentence and I say, what could fit here? Does the meaning we figured out, would that work? Would that make sense? It's hard to get a good view of a underground passage that works perfectly. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, but as long as it makes sense, it's okay. But that one works perfectly. So the other strategy I used was to fill in the sentence with the new meaning, okay? Or with the word underground. You could say the strategy I used was to replace the word with underground. The strategy I used was to replace subterranean with underground, period. Any of those sentences work. Make sure there's a capital and period. And you're spelling everything right. Pause this. Find the words in the text. Do it right. This is good practice. Okay. All right, so we did the definition, the context clues, the strategy. What else do we need? Details from the text to support your response. Did we put details from the text? We put the paragraph, the sentence, the clues, the words. I think we're good on that. So we did restate, answer, cite, explain. Yep, we are good. All right, so if you need to rewind this and make sure you got everything there, make your corrections. If you already put an answer and it makes sense and it has all those things, just maybe, switched around or, that's fine. I encourage you to add some details that we just did. Make those corrections, send them to me so that I know you did this and I can mark you for attendance. I'll see you. I'll see you later. Bye.